It's Nolan.
Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Hey, show me someone more light. I'm dodging all the roadblocks. Put the game in motion, moving boxes like it's roadblocks. The black man has been co-opted. Our neighborhood shitty filled with E. coli. Mine is a gold mine, but I adore my thoughts for these cosigns. Funny how when I dumb this shit down, they get more excited. When I share my dark stories, they act like I'm more enlightened. I done seen some foul shit from chicks slurping down dicks and crown Vicks to loud sticks blowing brains out. Living vampires with they fangs out. Bloodsuckers living our hoods. Practice with AKs in back of the woods. All I wanted was the handle grip shotted with long nose. If I ever let it rain, I'd be rocking the poncho in God mode. Creativity, I let it be light. Some people told me hell is hot, wonder if heaven is ice. The earth, water, need land. Said he trying to build the future, all I need is free bands and milbo grease in 2 hands. I'm cooking grease in the pan, support from Greece to Japan. Niggas all for real like that, now they speaking on the ground. Fuck it, they little money spend the same when I charge double. Got it from talking on the stage like Brian Gumble. The pheromones got your girl in a twist. I drop paper like a barrel of bricks. I'm Lake Erie to drip. The mask jig, I got it covered. The arm flooded. Hit 'em with the flavor like garlic butter. Dedication to Wayne. Jordan with the flu game. Carolina blue flame. I do this for my routine. Ordering paninis and Fellinis. My ice grill is zucchini. Yeah, Saks rockin' Bushimi. I burn green like Caprini. I'm home.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. I hope everybody's doing well out there on this Thursday evening. In this particular show, we're going to be talking about Miss M.I.A. And apparently, she's jumped off the deep end, right? She had already been swimming in some waters that was looking murky, right? Last year, we talked about M.I.A. She started off the year around February. She went bad on Jay-Z. She felt like she said that he was responsible for why she wasn't able to see her kid or her child or whatever, instead of just blaming it on her husband or her ex-husband or whatever she had going on. At the end of last year, she came out talking greasy about not only Jay-Z, but Beyonce. We're going to pull that clip up shortly. But not only did she do all of those things, she started off this year. She's now linked with avid Jay-Z hater Jaguar Wright. Now, I thought Jaguar was done with the shenanigans. You feel me? I thought she was done. I thought she had, decided, okay, guys, I've been in deep waters. I've used my towel. I've sun dried like tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? I thought she was going down the path of righteousness. Well, now we have the both of them with a link up. They were on IG Live about a day or so ago. I don't have the entire IG Live, but I do have a clip of M.I.A. and Jaguar Wright having a conversation, angry at Jay-Z, claiming that he was trying to get her to sign some sort of slave deal, and also basically shaming him for having money and having aspirations of obtaining more to, of course, he's trying to open up a casino in New York. She feels like he has nefarious goals with this casino, or just it doesn't benefit black people. I wonder how many cultures a casino is supposed to benefit when people just go there to spend money. It's not like it's something that nobody wants. But, if y'all don't want the casino, don't show up to that motherfucker. They had to close it down. But anyway, we'll get to all of that in just a moment, all right? So the first thing I want to do is show y'all kind of a lead up to what got us here. So again, a couple months ago, she was talking crazy about not only Jay-Z, but Beyonce. She even said that Azealia Banks once told her to bleach her skin because she was too dark skinned. I'm like, ma'am, you're M.I.A. You and me about the same complexion, ma'am. In what world are you too dark skinned? Unless you're talking about back home where you come from, maybe. But over here in the Americas, what world are you too dark in? I don't know. But I'll go ahead and let y'all see the clip. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this stuff, man. Man, 2025 is off to another bizarre start. We got niggas crashing now. We got niggas doing defamation lawsuits on rap songs. We got artists that only work with a nigga for 2 years claiming that they tried to end their entire career in life and now they not happy. We got people wearing goddamn 5G proof hoodies. We got niggas wearing 5G proof hoodies talking about you fucked up my life. Okay, but let y'all see what we talk about.
But I find it difficult that when people make it, they always fucking turn around and thank Beyonce, because that's bullshit. And enough is enough. I'm fucking coming for everyone now, because no, the success of all that shit always stems from God motivating me to get the fuck up out of bed and write some fucking songs. And then it changed so many people's destinies, and all these people are multi-millionaires, really successful. Even, you know, Azealia Banks could be talking about how I need to bleach my skin to be accepted in the music world, and that's why no one's fucking supporting me, is because I'm fucking dark skinned. Can fuck off, because even
look at the middle of the screen. Look at the bottom corner of the screen. Look at the middle of the screen. Look at the bottom corner of the screen. That's all I'm going to say.
her music career started with Diplo, who I fucking put on the map. So fuck all of them. Fuck all these bitches. And even Adele, it's like fucking guns out for this bitch, because she's retired now. But her career would not exist if I hadn't made Jonathan Dickens into a manager who is her manager. She signed to XL because of me. Nick Huggett was my A&R who signed her. And this bitch, when she gets an award, she thanks Beyonce.
Now, to some people that listen to people circulate mumbo jumbo, this might actually sound like some legitimate talk. The problem is every A&R starts somewhere, right? Every manager starts somewhere. Yes, you could take credit. You could take your, participation trophy or whatever the case may be because they started with you. And that's always great. You're always going to have that connection. And let's say if y'all have, a graceful future, then y'all should be able to still work in the future, come back, do business, make money together. And I don't know, shit, buy Christmas presents for each other's kids or some shit. I don't know. But when you retroactively try to take credit for somebody else's career, as in another artist who had to bust their ass in their own right, had to go through the ranks of doing the open mics, the talent shows, and be discovered and all of this type of shit. Yeah, in some sort of symbiotic way, you could say, well, if that never happens with me, they never meet you. Yeah, you could say that. But that's the case with everyone in the collective walking this earth, right? Without my mama birthing me, I never meet my wife. Okay. You think at my wedding I said that shit? I said, man, thank God. I'm happy. My mama ain't introduced me to you. So that's where it gets weird for me. Why would Adele thank you? Because the manager or the A&R that she works with or worked with on her last album at the Grammys or whatever the fuck, he started with you. So Adele supposed to go up on stage and say, thank you to M.I.A. Because without my manager working with you back in 2013 or 2007, I wouldn't have a career. Don't nobody say no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how it works. Because then who are you thanking? I mean, you ain't got no awards to celebrate, but who are you thanking? Like, what A&R discovered you, and what artist was that person working with before they found you, for you to say thank you to XYZ artist, because without you, this person never becomes a manager. Who the fuck does that? But again, if you're one of these infinitely, perpetually angry types that just find reasons to nitpick and try to center yourself in everybody's story, you probably would identify with some of this shit. If Adele gets on stage and says thank you to Beyonce, maybe Beyonce inspired her to make some of them fucking records. Maybe Beyonce is her barometer of who I'm trying to match up with and or beat, on any given day in the industry. My contemporaries, the people that keep me on my toes when they drop something new. I gotta push to new boundaries. Sorry you're not in that conversation, for whoever that is. There's plenty of artists out there that love what it is that you did, because I'm not trying to take nothing away from M.I.A. She brought some wavy shit to the game. But if you're not in that conversation among other peers, it's okay. You did your shit. You made your money. You put numbers on the board. Now, did you reach where you wanted to go? It seems like you didn't, because people that reach where they want to go don't do this.
And I'm sick and tired of all of these fucking women who don't want to give respect to me because I'm a brown woman in music. Had I been Jewish, black, or anything else, I would not be going through this. And that is facts.
Now, I will say, I've never had the experience of being Sri Lankan or of any, Indian descent in the music industry, coming into an urban music field. So I can't speak to the challenges that she may have faced, and I understand that people that come from those origins and those cultures, they do have their own set of challenges. I think everybody has their own set of challenges just in life, right? So I'm not trying to negate that in any form or fashion. Put on top of that, she is a woman, so there's always different factors of obstacles that women face naturally coming into the music industry. People trying to sleep with them, people trying to discredit their ideas, people trying to slow them down, people trying to tell them, I need you to do what I want you to do. All of those things are valid. But to say if I was black or if I was this person or that person, my life would have been easier, I think you would have to walk in the shoes of that other person to see if you would have made it to where you are. Right? Without those challenges and experiences, do you even make the music that you ended up creating? I don't know. I can't say. But again, I feel like she was at a high at one point. I don't know what the factors were that took her off that high horse, but to attribute that to Jay-Z when you didn't start working with him until 2014 in your career, which is about halfway through it, I don't know. And y'all only worked together for like 2 years. So I'm gonna let you continue though.
If I was white, black, or Jewish, because you know why? I have been taking the fucking high road for.
And I'm gonna take it a step further. I was trying to let you get through this, but I would be remiss not to mention, you brought your ass tiptoeing into hip hop. You can't even rap. You can't sing nor rap. You make some wavy shit though. But we gonna call a spade a spade. We accepted you in hip hop. There's people out there that literally every article they write about you, they call you a rapper. And you can't rap. Okay? And we accepted you in our culture. They accepted you in Philly with the alternative culture. They accepted you. You know what I'm saying? You made a version of rap music I discovered your music off of fucking video game soundtrack. I forgot what year it was. NBA Live 05, 06, some shit like that. And guess who else was on that entire soundtrack? Rappers, hip hop music. You were lumped in with the rest of the culture. So the fact that we accepted you and then you come around here and say, well, if I was black, it's like, dog, you thrived off of your proximity to blackness. Had we not accepted you, what would have happened? Just even being stamped a rapper. What if motherfuckers just protested and said, why is she being called a rapper? I don't know. I ain't gonna lie, niggas got me on one. You know what I'm saying? This hip hop shit getting real funny, man. I don't want to be negative towards people though.
20 years. And so this is why I think now it's peak. It's peak because this is not about ego. This is about recognizing God. This is why it was very important for me not to compromise myself on many things, like keeping my clothes on and not promoting sex and doing all these other things. There was a reason. So when people use me, then get up to the top and thank fucking Satan, it fucking pisses me off. Yeah, swords out. Swords out. Wow, God picked this random fucking Sri Lankan who was completely incapable. So incapable, no musical training, can't sing, doesn't look good, didn't have the right fucking hair and nails and all the rest of it, or whatever it fucking takes for you to fucking accept a pop star. Like, none of it.
I don't know. You know, I don't think M.I.A. is an ugly woman. Maybe she's not what people would call traditionally pretty, based on like Hollywood beauty standards and stuff like that. I'm quite sure she's probably heard some things. She claims Jay-Z told her to get her nose fixed or some shit like that. I don't know. If he did, that was out of pocket. I ain't gonna, you know, hey, I fuck with the nigga, but hey, with the nigga wrong, he wrong. We'll get there though. But again, you're globally heralded as like a fashion icon. Like you kind of the vibe you brought with the style, you kind of was like a Rihanna before Rihanna. So to try to rewrite history like you was like never accepted in any sort of way, shape, form, or fashion. And of course, your experience is your experience. I've only witnessed it in the third person from the outside looking in. But I do kind of feel like if you were so hated, you wouldn't be in the position to be complaining today. Your complaints would be much different. Your complaints would be poverty. But you know, let's not do that because we could talk all day about that part.
None of it. None of it. Or she's so like, no. She's like, so much ego. She thinks she's all that. Like she thinks da. But this is why they managed to keep the brown girl in the music industry, which still has the sound that everybody has and still generates careers out of and never gives me credit. They can't empower God. This is why Adele has to get on the podium and thank Beyonce, when actually she did it because of my manager, my label, my A&R, and all of the shit I created for her to exist. I can name the list of all the people. Beyonce herself changed her career to becoming more radical and radicalized and politicized after Borders. You can check your timeline. But she will never say, oh, M.I.A. inspires me. She will never say that. And all of them got to get away with it because they just keep getting praised by the same fucking system that destroys me, because that system which hates me loves Satan. And they know the truth. Underneath, behind the scenes, they know the truth. It's not a joke. And no, I didn't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself and swim in goop, in black goop, and fucking like wear devil horns to fucking sell a record. Fuck that. Or be a witch, or be that, all of that shit. Like, fuck all of them. And that is just facts. And no, I'm not going to bleach my skin. No, I'm not going to get a fucking nose job. No, I'm not going to get a fucking filler. No, I'm not going to fucking like do all this shit. No. Because I'm 100% content, happy, and at peace with exactly how God designed it. That's why.
So that was just the beginning of the I guess villain story, right? So she called out Jay, she called out Beyonce, she called out Adele, Azealia Banks, who I wouldn't be surprised if she told you to bleach your skin, because apparently she has a thing about anybody with brown skin, whether it be light or dark. She hate her goddamn self. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure Azealia Banks is damn near Bernie Mac in Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood, or whatever the fuck that shit called. Where that nigga said, I hate Whoopi Goldberg lip. That was foreshadowing of Azealia Banks. So I don't doubt that she told you that shit. But now, Jaguar Wright, I'm sure she saw this. I'm sure she sat back and was like, we got one. We fucking got one. And she saw you in your weak moments. She saw that you wasn't ready to back down. And now the two of them have linked up for a clown show.
Also, like, it's not just fighting for my kid, but don't forget, in that same time, I was fighting the NFL.
I know.
Right?
All of that.
I was fighting giants.
They set
fucking giants. I was fighting giants, and nobody fucking came to help me. And listen, at that time, Jay-Z, Rock Nation was supposed to negotiate that, but they wanted me to sign this thing, which was slavery. It was modern day slavery, where NFL takes 100% of my earnings, and that is slavery. So you can say you're for Black power, yet you're doing that, like how?
So what's not included here in this in the interim of this video here between the two of them is what she's actually talking about. Why Jay-Z was trying to tell you to even take a deal with the NFL, right? So some of y'all may remember, some of y'all may not. M.I.A. performed at the 2012 Super Bowl. And during that 2012 Super Bowl, she flipped a middle finger during her performance, which caused a lot of controversy. The NFL wanted to fine her for basically, doing things outside of the FCC guidelines during the performance. And I guess during the time that Jay-Z was working with her, she didn't have the money. Let me find, where's my article at about this shit? All right, so boom. In February 2012, M.I.A.'s appearance during Madonna's headlining Super Bowl halftime show set, which also featured Nicki Minaj, caused controversy when M.I.A. was filmed purposely sticking up her middle finger during the nationally televised performance. Okay? The move was in violation of an agreement between the NFL and all performers to negatively impact the league's image or the viewing experience, leading to the NFL filing a lawsuit against M.I.A. shortly after. So before the performance, and as y'all can see with all of the stuff leading into Kendrick Lamar's performance, and even the information that we have about like last year with Usher, he did those round of interviews leading up to and after the Super Bowl performance. You got a lot of red tape you got to go through because this is the biggest night on television the entire year. So you got to have all your ducks in a row. You got to make sure that things are not in violation of FCC codes, right? You can't say certain things. You can't do certain things. You can't make certain gestures, right? And of course, Drake is trying to get Kendrick caught up the same way with this Not Like Us song, probably also trying to signal to the FCC this song is inappropriate for such a big platform. But if he changes the lyrics to the songs, it shouldn't be no problem. Or omits certain pieces. But that's neither here nor there. So we'll continue. The lawsuit, which was filed with the American Arbitration Association, initially sought $1.5 million in damages. However, the NFL added an additional $15.1 million to the complaint in 2014, citing M.I.A.'s failure to resolve the lawsuit. So originally it was $1.5 million, and the NFL gave her 2 years to figure it out of what she wanted to do, and it was never resolved. So then they say, hey, we want another 15. Okay? Which brings about 16.16 million in a lawsuit for simply putting up a middle finger. Okay? And they said that they were asking for this for breaching her pre-show contract to upkeep the league's reputation for wholesomeness, right? And the 15 million that was added was restitution on the value of her appearance. Apparently, advertisers would have paid that equivalent if she never performed with Madonna and Nicki Minaj. Her lawyer shot back with their own defense against the credibility of the sports show's wholesomeness with its past performances from Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Prince. To which it says the continued pursuit of this proceeding is transparently an exercise by NFL intended solely to bully and make an example of respondents for daring to challenge the NFL. And of course, the NFL has been trying to clean up their image ever since that whole Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson thing took place, where he ripped the thing off her and then she had the pasty. And looking at it in hindsight from 2025 vision, it really shouldn't have been a big deal. But when you go back to the early 2000s and we saw that the titty went from, it went from sitting up to dropping the way it dropped, a lot of people did clutch their pearls at the time. But even that lawsuit was eventually dropped. Don't be laughing at my description of that. That's what happened. You seen that, man. You seen that footage. Okay. Now, in that very year, M.I.A. and the NFL reached an undisclosed settlement that we don't know exactly the specifics of what that entailed. But she claims that Jay-Z was wanted her to give up future earnings on her music. Now, to me, that's where you find yourself in a bit of a pickle, right? Because you violated an agreement with the NFL during the Super Bowl, which is something that's very sensitive. That is, again, the biggest night in television every year. You decided to do what you wanted to do, right? So that was your choice. That was your decision. You wanted to be edgy. You wanted to do whatever it was. And I mean, a middle finger, again, looking at it in the limelight of a 2025 thing, it's like, come on, man. But again, you got to think of the diverse people that tune in to the Super Bowl, women, children, everybody, cultures. It's shown across the world. So again, it's got to be buttoned up. And not to mention, it was only $1.5 million to begin with. It was escalated to 16. So if you don't have the money to pay, the lawsuit is sitting delinquent, nothing is happening with it, then what they're going to do is say, all right, we need to garnish your future revenue, right? Because clearly you don't have the money. So as you make more money, we're going to need to be cut in on it. That's how it works. That's what we're seeing happen with Dame Dash, right? He had, although he was delinquent in his taxes, all of that issue came to fruition because he allegedly sat dormant on a lawsuit from a filmmaker that said, hey man, this dude walked out with my film. He owes me $820,000. And they went and nudged the judges, kept pestering around. And then it was brought to people's attention, oh my God, he owes all this money in taxes too. Let's get his ass. Let's attack his assets. So the asset that M.I.A. has is her music. So if Jay-Z says, hey, just let them motherfuckers take, garnish your future earnings, I don't necessarily think that was a terrible thing to say. But it's also a tough position to be in because you could fight it, I guess. Which again, they ended up reaching a settlement. I don't know what that settlement is. I don't know if she agreed to pay, $500,000. That's all I got. That's what I could give y'all. Who knows? But that's the context of this so-called slave deal that she says Jay-Z urged her to accept, where the NFL would take 100% of her earnings. Because in any other circumstance, it would not make any sense for the NFL to be touching her earnings. But she didn't say why. She just said that this is what he was saying she should do. So when you omit key details as to why you ended up in a situation where the NFL would be asking for money, somebody that's not paying attention or somebody that's just feeling some type of way, finding something to latch onto, you'll be like, man, fuck that nigga. But shit, you ain't got it. Where they gonna get it from? Your future earnings.
If Malcolm X did say, if you sympathize with oppression, right, in anywhere, you sympathize with oppression everywhere, and you cannot be the oppressing force in one place and be the very thing that cries about oppression, making $1 billion in the next. And the only justification to why he's more right than I am is because he says to people, he goes into boardrooms and says to people, which I will never say, is he says, it's important for me to be a billionaire, because Black people need to be billionaires. And why does specifically he, at that time, I've had this conversation with white money people when they go, it's important that Jay-Z becomes a billionaire. And I go, why? And they said, because he wants to open up a casino. He wants to open up this. He should have an alcoholic brand. He needs to have a casino. He needs to have this. And you're like, why the fuck does anybody need a casino?
Now, if you're against the casino, if you're against alcoholic brands, that's your personal choice. You have your own individual discretion of whether or not you want to support it or whether you want to patronize these types of businesses. But where is that a problem, especially in the American economy? Since when are these problems? And how does it disparage you as an individual to offend you? Right? Now, as you can see, Jag is a little blurry here, but she's finna jump in with her own rhetoric.
Another fucking casino
money
in
all
this world.
day, and it makes it very possible for people to launder money all day.
Yeah. So, why, even the fact that you want to become so powerful, then you're not saying because he needs to build schools for Black people in Black neighborhoods. It's because he wanted to build casinos for Black people.
For them to keep wasting their money, and then for him to keep selling them overpriced merchandise. It's a rat trap.
Yeah.
All of it is. The sad part is that hip hop has now turned itself over to this greed machine and doesn't realize it's time to unplug. It's time to unplug.
Yeah. So in terms of bringing people to higher consciousness, and this is something that Black people very openly talk about, and it's about getting to that, getting back to that, and go, okay, like this is where we're at, this is what's happening, you have to have people brave enough to do the thing and talk and bring up these conversations. And it's about trying to get through to as many souls as possible, because you gambling is not going to fix the soul. It's a cheap exterior fix. You gambling and winning $50,000 or $100,000 is an external fix, but it does not check in with your spirit. It's inside out every step of the way. And that is what it's about. And Kanye's had to go through this lesson because he made that $1 billion exactly on all those principles. Then he had to lose it, and that was his battle. He had to lose it, show people he can lose it, and show that he's not destroyed. But he had to pay that price.
Now, within that conversation, you see, she talked about Jay-Z, she talked about Kanye, she talked about him losing his Billy, all this stuff, right? This all altruistic stuff. But just a few days ago, she was seen out with Diplo, who she came into the industry with. I think they dated, produced her music, all this stuff. Diplo has multiple upon multiple upon multiple essay allegations against him. Okay? I ain't talking about Jill One because I know people gonna say, well, what about Jay-Z? I'm talking about this nigga got years upon years of essay allegations on him. Even Azealia Banks, who in most cases I think is straight out of the planter's warehouse. But she says that during her time working with him, during her early days of being a young artist trying to get into the industry, she dated him and he treated her as his property, and he allegedly essayed her early on. She claims that their relationship was a farce. She was just trying to do music. Right? So they say that this man has intentionally given out chlamydia. All of these different things. But this is the dude that you was just with a couple days ago on Elon Musk jet. But you don't like billionaires. But you want to try to shame a black man into thinking, well, what about Malcolm X? Well, what about upgrading your consciousness? But you hanging out with Diplo on an Elon Musk jet, praising the man on Instagram. How about them apples? I tell you what though, I know Jay-Z regret the day he met some of y'all motherfuckers. He like, man, I should have never let Jag sing on that motherfucking stage on my ass. I should have never let Rock Nation manage this girl for 2 years of my fucking life, man. I can't get away from you motherfuckers. I should have, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody feel like they're owed something. And it's like, based on the time that we spent together, what am I supposed to owe you? I don't get it. But at this point, we've seen the videos. She's even got even more recent stuff talking about Beyonce again and her $200 million Malibu home, saying that she only got here for playing the game and the system and all this stuff. And again, it just reeks of, why am I not there? Why am I not in your position? That's what it reeks of. Because we don't hear any like really concrete reasons to be bringing these people up. The other video we played before, it was just like she wants credit for, you know, for being around somebody before they went on to find somebody else. So it's just weird. Now, in typical situations, like I'm always pro artist, pro creator, but sometimes there's a switch that goes off in these wildly creative people's minds that just, it doesn't click the right way. And unfortunately, it seems that, you know, her rubber band is completely snapped. But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. And if this is any inkling of what's to come in 2025, I don't know if Jag and M.I.A. are going to start a podcast, or if they're going to like keep linking up and start waxing poetic about the old days and you know, all of the hardships that they endured in the industry or anything like that. I would be open to these stories if there was a resolution. You get what I'm saying? But if you're going to like pump false allegations on people and try to act like everybody wronged you, you've done no wrong to nobody in the world, you've been the saint angel and you just went through hell, I'm not really with all that. All right. But again, y'all let me know what y'all think. All right. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all on the next one.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.